the well guys here. So we have this farm well, which I don't really understand how it's configured. I mean, I understand loosely, but like the intricacies of how exactly it's plumbed. We've got storage tanks. We've got city water that also ties in if we need it. And there's some sort of solar panels running the pump. And what I've come to learn so far is that my water supply out of the well is limited. And I'm not sure if the water stops coming out because the well is insufficient or because the pump is driven solely on solar with no battery. But then it also runs at night. So I don't know what's going on. So these guys are coming out to hopefully inspect the well. I guess you've got to clean these wells because they get like just all kinds of crap built up in the inlet for the well pump and that kind of stuff. So the goal is to have these guys inspect this thing and tell us, like, my goal is unlimited water. I want to be able to run water all over the place anytime I want without it stopping. So does that mean I need another well? Can we use this well just to clean it out? Or do we need more solar or some other stuff? But end goal is unlimited water. If nothing else today, being able to see this contraption makes everything worthwhile. Look at that. I'm not sure how this works, but like some sort of vehicle differential there. Transmission. Kind of hydraulics. And we've got some sort of tac motor mounted to, I guess it's an old truck frame. This thing is friggin' awesome. What a rig. All right. Hopefully it is, hopefully it's adequate to do the job, whatever that job is. I'm still totally in the dark, per usual. Here comes Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Ooh, front wheel drive only. She's struggling a little bit. Oh, rear wheel drive, sorry, I had the ends mixed up. There we go, boys. Oh, don't dig up my water lines. I don't know how far this guy had to drive to even get here in this thing. Don't hit my tank. Shut her down. Jesus, don't let her roll. Apparently with such a precision machine, it's going to be parked exactly on top of the well. Zero deviation. So they have pressed the support vehicle, this tac into service, which is running a pump right there, which I guess is drawing water out of the pond and then pumping it into the well. I think they're trying to flush the well and then slurp all the nasty stuff out, I think. That's what I'm told. But who knows? On today's installment of Here's a Moron in Over His Head, we are installing a reverse osmosis water system. I am undoubtedly doing this wrong, but we are going to see if we can do the best we can here and not make a complete mess of this thing.
The right thing.
What are you looking for?
Yes, but no sweat like this.
Right, yeah, they don't have one? They should. It's like the basic little double outlet.
Yeah, double, but no.
Yeah, with the box. Maybe we can...
But he want a double.
So still trying to get the lay of the village here. We are today at a little local hardware store, kind of the opposite way of the village that I normally go. And we're on an errand run for Pinky's brother, who's back at home rewiring some outlets for our water softener. So cool little look at a just basic village hardware store. It's about a 5-minute motorbike ride from the house, so a little bit of everything. Oh look, I'm gonna have to get myself a new hat. Okay, in here, this is the living room that I really still haven't done anything with. Pinky and I have still been spending most of our time in the outdoor kitchen out there, or my office, or the air-conditioned bedroom. This room will probably come into greater use during hot season when we get AC in here and it's too hot to hang out outside. But my plan was to install this RO water filter system over here in the corner. And there's a bunch of reasons why I didn't want it on one of those sinks, but there was a spigot and a drain, so I said, oh, perfect, I've got an outlet there as well. I'll just get this kind of freestanding sink. And I'm trained well enough now in Thailand to know that I could offer to help, but they won't let me. So we are just standing around as men, watching the women do the heavy lifting. Sink, and we'll rig this thing up, and this will be our water fill station. This will be just for filling drinking water and maybe brushing our teeth. But like every project here, I have either had the wrong parts, not enough parts, whatever. There's been something holding me up. So in frustration last night, trying to hook it up over there, I just dragged it over to this sink because I knew I had the fittings to at least get it running. And in the words of the great David Freiberger, my theme here has kind of been the same, like don't get it right, just get it running, which seems to be happening over and over again. So it's rigged up, finally, it's working. I don't even have another water faucet, so I just got this zip tied right here. So we've got fresh water coming out of here on demand. Look at that, huh? That's a beautiful thing. I have been trying to pay very close attention over the past few years to the quality of the water I drink, specifically with microplastics and all the other garbage that's in municipal water. The van had an outstanding water filtration system in it. My place in Hawaii had a pretty good water filtration system in it prior to then. I always walk around with a, some sort of metal bottle. I try not to drink out of plastic when I can help it. So this system combined with the water softener and the other stuff going on outside. Hopefully we'll cut down on all of that stuff in addition to just filtering out the pretty low quality gross water that you get here, either out of our well or the municipal water. Yeah, there is some plastic coming out of the RO system, but it's going to be a very minimal plastic exposure, especially compared to here in Thailand, where you get bottles of water that have either sat in a super hot warehouse or cooked in the back of a truck, and they just heat it up to an absurd level, and it just makes all the plastic stuff worse. So that was a system that I knew that I was going to need in some capacity when we moved here. So I kind of budgeted that and came in still way under budget, even though I've got a water softener that I think is way overkill for the size of the house. This thing is probably sized about right, but again, I don't know anything about this, so tear me apart in the comments if you want, if I've got this backwards or overkill or underkill or whatever. I do have a UV sterilizer on order. It's been on order for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I don't know what's taking it so long to get here, but that will also be plumbed into that system for some added protection. I don't know if I need it or not, but I'm getting it. And yeah, so we'll see how this plays out. The reason I didn't want to mount this over here to begin with is it just doesn't fit. I didn't measure it out right, and it doesn't fit under the counter, but yeah, I am stoked we have like real water here now. Awesome. All right, we got Pinky's brother back over here today, ripping away on another project, rigging up a roof for this whole thing here. So he's been hobbling around again on 1 foot, but doesn't stop him from getting in some down and dirty welding. So that is underway. Got him a new welding rig last week, so he's got some new equipments to deal with. He's pretty excited about that. And he's also wiring us up an outlet here so that we can properly plug this in with an exterior outlet, and as it's temporarily been powered with an extension cord running through the window. Wicked decent, but we're gonna fix that up a little bit. So trial by fire here at the well, or actually trial by water or lack thereof. So yesterday when I was battling inside with my reverse osmosis system and trying to get that to work and get set up, and then moving it to a new location within the house and running through all the problems that I was having there, the water to the house stopped entirely again and like tore into this well pump. I had my meter just trying to figure out where we were getting power, where the flaw was, why that pump wasn't running. And in my haste to get everything back together last night, I actually wired the condenser wrong, tied it right to the power, and switched over to city water last night because I was done dealing with it and messing with it. And when I came out this morning, the pump was really hot, although it hadn't been running. So I'm like, oh man, something's wrong. And that's when I discovered that I had wired the condenser wrong. And stupid me, I take pictures of this stuff before I touch anything so I can see how the wires go back together and any other little details. And I just, again, in my haste to get things buttoned back up when it was getting dark last night, I'm like, oh, I remember how these go. Wired them back together. Well, it was wrong. And fortunately, I dodged a bullet where I didn't fry anything. I just let everything cool down. There must be some sort of thermal overload switch on the motor or something, but let it cool down, made sure everything was wired correctly, put power back to it, and now we have a functioning well again. So, man, this is all new to me, guys. I have some working knowledge of wells and water systems, but very little, and no real experience farming or irrigating. So more just trying to figure stuff out as I go, and I know I'm getting probably a lot of it wrong, but just trying to do the best I can. All right, we're getting some good flow now. Sun is up, it's hitting the solar panels, which are up there, and I think if I angle those towards the sun, instead of whoever installed them just laid them flat, I can make them definitely more efficient. But what happens is the solar panels power the well pump, which then pumps water into the storage tanks for the house, and then anything that is overflow gets fed into the pond. So I don't know if this is a good setup or not. It's what we've got. I'm trying to make it as efficient and effective as possible, and we'll certainly try to improve things as I can. If anybody has any comments on how to make this setup any better, give me a shout, put some comments down below. I'm all ears. All right, the roof is complete. This is the Thai scrap metal special for sure, but the price was right, and it's gonna do the job of keeping the rain off the new riggins here. So water softener, manganese carbon, I can't remember which order, and the roof. Definitely gonna have to trim this thing out though, because this is right at eyeball level, and no doubt I will slice my eyeballs in half some night when I come stumbling out here to try to address something that is not working. But for now, everything's working. Got clean, fresh water. Okay, do you have a highly sensitive, fairly expensive piece of equipment that you want to make better? Go at it with an angle grinder. Guaranteed winning every time. All right, fits under the sink now. Angle grinder for the win, and I only had to replumb a little bit of just about all of it. And I've got a real faucet now. Sink still absolutely sucks and will be replaced, but that's a whole nother project. For now, fresh water into a filthy sink. There we go. There we go. There we go. Holy smokes. Fresh water.